welcome in. If you're new, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I'm going to do a bit of a different reading today. It is the fall equinox, so thought I would kind of change it up a little bit and focus on that for today's reading. Just wanted to start off with a little bit about the equinox. So it's a time, where the energy is shifting from light to dark as we're coming out of summer and going into fall and winter. There is this shift happening and things are kind of slowing down. We're kind of being called a bit more inward. Likely we're becoming a bit more still, you know how it is in the winter. Obviously, I'm talking about the northern hemisphere. If you're in the southern hemisphere, I apologize. But sort of a time for invitation to surrender and look within. So you'll see that shift sort of happening now. The equinox in and of itself, the day of the equinox is where there's equal parts light and dark in the day. So we're invited, to honor that same polarity within ourselves. So, where we can see our own light in the darkness, to recognize that within ourselves. And it's also a bridge between who we've been and who we're becoming. So our past and future kind of meet in the present on the equinox. So it's really an opportunity to heal through feelings, through releasing, old patterns, beliefs, emotions, identities, anything that's no longer serving us and who we're becoming. Also is an opportunity for us to focus on living from the inside out. And that really touches on this need to release, in the same way that, trees release their leaves and go through this sort of death cycle to be reborn in the spring. We're essentially going through this same cycle. So, you can't really add to what is already full. So if you're going to grow and transform, you have to create space for new things to come in. So I came up with some different sort of questions that I'm going to ask today in this reading, surrounding this equinox and sort of where you're coming from and what you can expect going forward in the next 6 months. So I'm going to go ahead and get the cards out, and then I will explain sort of what my intention is for each of the cards. So if you'll give me just 1 minute, I'm going to get the cards out. Getting wild with the cards over here. Thank you for your patience. Hope you've had a wonderful week so far. Weekend's almost here. Yeah, and with this shift into Libra season, we're also going to see a bit of change in the energies coming up. So I'll talk about that, I'm sure, in a coming reading. Just thought this equinox was, you know, a pretty big thing where we're going through a major shift and wanted to put some focus on it so we can best use the energies that are available to us. All right, come on, one more card. Nice, please. Didn't want to come out. I'm just gonna pull one. One more. Actually, two more. Okay. All right. So the first card that I pulled was, how have you changed over the past 6 months? And we get the Ace of Cups. So it seems like you, over the past 6 months, have come into a place of self-love, learning to love yourself and embody an energy of love and grace and compassion for yourself, as well as, you know, operating now more from your heart center, having unconditional love for yourself and others, which is really, really beautiful. What are you needing to let go of? We get the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. I think this is needing to let go of watching and waiting for the seeds that you have planted to show visible growth. Maybe needing to trust a bit more in your manifestations, in the divine, and knowing that, you know, they are growing, that it's like a watched pot never boils, right? Needing to shift your focus away from the things that you've put out. I'm seeing this heart, you know, being very expansive and like radiating out. And really, this is the true place to manifest from, right? To manifest from your heart, because the vibration of love in the heart is the highest vibration that there is. And so you can trust that you have put out into the universe. If you believe in the law of attraction and you follow Abraham Hicks, it's in your vortex. You've put it out there. And you know, you're just waiting for the universe and the cooperative components to coalesce and come into, you know, your reality. So I think needing to let go of, like I said, watching and waiting and not having faith that what is for you is coming to you, because truly what is meant for you is always coming to you. And what is meant for you will not pass you by. So what block do you need to be aware of? We get death and rebirth in reverse. So maybe needing to be aware of a resistance to change, a resistance to some sort of transformation. And this would, be an inner transformation. So a bit of resistance to change. And that's fairly normal. I mean, I think we all have a bit of resistance to change. Maybe not everyone, but a lot of people. We tend to go with what we know. The only thing about that is, we can get into some pretty uncomfortable comfort zones. While it's, I think that just describes it the best. Uncomfortable comfort zones. Like, we're not fulfilled yet. It's familiar. It's the known. It's the known quantity, right? Sometimes there is a fear of the unknown. Better the devil you know than the one you don't. So maybe just needing to be aware of this, bit of resistance to change. The next card I got was, how can you support yourself through this coming season of transformation? We get 2 of Cups in reverse. I think this is talking about letting go of alliances that no longer serve us. Noticing it's really interesting that I didn't plan it this way, but underneath of this Ace of Cups and the 2, like Ace of Cups upright, 2 of Cups reverse, I think the focus is more on yourself and what fulfills you and what, lights up your heart, as opposed to maybe prioritizing other people over yourself. So the way that you can support yourself is to focus on yourself and your own happiness and your own self-love, and allow other people to do that same work for themselves, not overgiving. Creating balance within yourself, maybe a more balance of your masculine and feminine energies. To where you can still be a nurturing, loving presence, but you have boundaries, so that you're not overgiving or allowing people to take or siphon your energy, this beautiful energy that you have created for yourself, of personal happiness, singular happiness, not based on anybody else. And then we get, how are you being blessed by spirit? Ace of Pentacles. New opportunities, new seeds to plant. I think it's really interesting that it came under the 7 of Pentacles here. So where you were maybe watching things grow, tried to watch things grow in the past, you're given new opportunities here. And as the saying, going forward, these opportunities are blessings from the divine. So you can trust that they're going to bear fruit. You just need to plant them. Set it and forget it, and keep moving. Focus on, other parts of your life that need to go through this transformation. I think it's really interesting too, if you think about, things aren't going to grow and blossom until spring. So, planting these seeds now, they're going to be dormant until it's time for them to bloom. So you're being blessed with opportunities and an opportunity to change the way that you focus, and focus on other things while your manifestations come into your reality. And lastly, what new aspect of yourself will you discover over the next 6 months? We get Two of Swords in reverse. I think what this is talking about is that you have clarity, that you have learned to trust yourself. You're not blindfolded any longer. You've got these two swords of truth. Well, in this card it doesn't show that, but in the traditional tarot, it's a figure with two swords at the ready. Sharp intellect, that you're sharp and discerning, and that you are guided by spirit. I'm noticing these crows here that are squawking in her ears. When you're guided by the divine, you're unstoppable. You're clear of mind, you know where you're going. And I think you're going to discover this power within yourself, over this next 6 months. The overall energy I got for this next 6 months is closing door, completion. So you're wrapping up a cycle. What comes to mind is that, one door closes, another door opens. So maybe not being so attached to things that come and go, recognizing that things come as they're meant to and they leave as they're meant to. I'm thinking here about these, pentacles and planting these seeds and this death and rebirth. And I'm getting this feeling of just like the cycles of life. There's an ebb and a flow. There's a death and a rebirth to everything. It's cyclical, and we're walking right into the period where, things are going to start to fall away. And some of them will be things that, you consciously release, and some things will be removed by the divine, to help keep you on your path. And just being okay. This is a 5 card, learning to be comfortable with change. As we talked about, this, sort of resistance to change. So I got some advice cards, and I think it's really interesting. We got this card, A Powerful Move. If you've been watching lately, this card has come out probably 4 times in the past week. So this is definitely a collective energy that I'm seeing here, of taking bold steps, making powerful moves from a place of alignment. Here it's underneath of this, alignment with yourself and your heart. So operating from that heart space, moving forward, that's a superpower, And I think that you'll start to see that more. The more you operate from that place, the more you will see the way things come to you. You've got Ace of Pentacles and Ace of Cups here, 2 aces. Lots of new beginnings, lots of new opportunities in the tangible world and, in the heart space. And those two could intersect, maybe that involves, meeting someone that, you're aligned with, that you continue your journey with for this next cycle. We got another piece of advice. It says, Inner Earth, you'll survive this. New solutions and beginnings. Yeah, we're just talking about new beginnings. You'll survive this, this death of self, or death of aspects of ourself, death of our ego. It can feel extremely threatening. When there's something that we have known and a way that we have operated for our entire lives, it can be really hard to let go of that. But I think you're seeing, the ways that it's no longer serving you. And so it's a process, of letting go. I mean, sometimes daily, hourly, you have to remind yourself to let go, and allow, as I said at the beginning, in order for new things to come in, old things have to go. And then we got this card of advice that says energetic clearing, which really speaks to that. It says, during crisis, the Holy One herself may be emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, this divine is guiding you, and like I said, may remove some things from your life, emptying you of fear and attachments, preparing you to receive her luminous plan. So, there is a divine plan at play here. And I feel like this is a time, where we're being opened and cleansed so that we can step into this new opportunity fully, without fear and attachments to things from the past. This is really beautiful. I wanted to get one more card. I thought could kind of be, I don't know if you do mantras, but something to gesticulate on for this equinox. And it says, I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions. That takes us right back to the beginning of this reading, where I was talking about you and your self-love and having healthy boundaries and not letting people take from you and not over-giving to people. Protecting your peace, protecting this, these good feeling emotions that you've cultivated for yourself. And I don't know your situation. Maybe you've been through an extremely difficult time. Maybe you've worked through healing a lot of wounds, traumas. Maybe you're just beginning that work. Whatever stage you're at, it's important to protect those good feeling emotions. And I think that, keeping this as a mantra, I am kind and loving towards others while creating clear boundaries that protect my good feeling emotions, will be a good reminder as you move forward over this next 6 months. So that is what we have for this equinox reading. I hope that was helpful for you, gave you some things to think on. Just hang on to these good feeling emotions. Stay true to yourself and to your heart. And trust that, your manifestations are on their way. Your focus needs to be on allowing yourself to go through this process of transformation so that, you're creating healthy boundaries, you're creating balance within yourself so that these new opportunities can take root and you can have clarity and be led by spirit moving forward so you can make powerful moves to these new beginnings. And you can be cleared out of things that are no longer serving you. So I hope that you have a wonderful day and a wonderful season ahead. And I will see you tomorrow.